Hello, my name is Raiden, and you're watching Behance Branding Showcase. This is the show where I pull up my top three Behance projects based on branding. I love branding, and I love looking at Behance projects. And the algorithm of Behance is really, really good. Like the really good projects based on branding in terms of concept and in terms of aesthetics is like the meritocracy is there in terms of its algorithm, and it just rises up. The good projects rise up, and the good projects is where I pick my favorites. Those favorites, those favorites of mine, I pick out like learning points and what I like about them, aesthetic wise and concept wise. I'm gonna be looking at three different projects today. The first one, I pull out some screenshots from Behance and I'm gonna put it in this slide where I'm gonna be going through with you. The first project is Visto, a construction studio, I think. Tea Garden, which is like a brand of soap, and Squash 73, which I think is like a spatial branding type project. And let's just jump into it. The first branding project is Visto. This is a thumbnail right here. This is what is on top of the page. Multiple owners, The Work Co., Maria Dobaro, Debbie Martin, David Botella, and David Botella. All of them are in Madrid, Spain. This is a Spanish project. Really interesting. I'm gonna go ahead and take out my headphones. So this is their rationale. Skills, naming and branding. Visto pretends to be a game changer in the construction business. They want to go away from the idea of the careless builder. They want to become the perfect tool for architects and clients who wants to see their ideas on paper come true, but with care and attention to detail. We gave them a surname at the rise of the challenge: Construction Study. Construction because it is honest. It is the what of who they are, and study because it is their how, the differentiation in the way of doing things. A new descriptor for a business that pretends to change its category. For the name, we rely on the expression used in architecture and interior design, expose materials that share many values with the business idea, and how they want you to feel a project or a process with them. Transparent, pure, and honest. Can tell from the thumbnail. For the name, I already have that. Third paragraph, for the visual identity, we continue playing with the double personality, and we are a construction studio more than ever, mixing materials and resources more typical of an architecture studio, but signed by a strong logo much closer to the construction's world. In the logo, they changed the O for a shape that represents the beginning of any project, a plan. And for the visual world, we continue using the same language, and we represent our exposed materials with patterns as they are expressed in monochromatic planes. All this mixed with quality materials, a chromatic palette born again from the materials world, build a brand's universe of which we are tremendously proud. Really cool. Rationale right there. I think this is what they're going for, like the process behind the logo. Visto. I think the one on the left is the current logo. They changed with, I think that's like a top view of a blueprint floor plan. And yeah, that's the new logo. Really nice. Alright, cool. The only thing, I don't know. I'm just feeling like imagining how it will look like in like a small scale. I don't know if it will work. I don't know if the floor plan O will still be visible if the logo is sized down. And I think this is like their iconography. Maybe this is like the different materials or different legends of the floor plan. Really nice. I like the pastel color. Really love it. I think this is their name card or their letterhead. But there's a sense of purity, and I love the pastel colors contrasted with the premium blue. You can see the background here. It's like, I really like it. It's a really good combination of colors, and you can taste the purity through the aesthetics of this design. And this is the color palette. So you got brown, you got brownish gray, you got beige, turquoise, blue, you got white and red. Cool. I really love how like all the colors are muted except for the red, which is a really good like standing out color. Beautiful. There's a letterhead and the I think the envelope. I can just feel like the chalkiness of the colors, and whenever I see like chalky colors I think of dust, and I think this is really on point with like how a construction studio would want to look like. Very nice. A little bit grimy. Oh, that's the floor plan. That is really sweet. Really simple. Look at that. That is essentially what you want as a construction company. You want everything and everyone to understand what the hell is going on, so you make everything simple. Like this. There's a lot of space, there's a lot of breathing space in the letterhead and their layout design. Very nice. And I think this is a stamp. Cool as well. More letterheads. I just love the simplicity of like, I think this is probably like what they're trying to like convey to the client, like Visto's clients, like, oh, this is the color of the wall, I guess, and they display it in such an artsy way, really contemporary, really it attracts the people that want to have aesthetics as their like priority, and I think they are killing it so far. There's more iconography, bricklaying, the worker, nice. I'm only doubtful about the second icon, the worker, like the smiley face. I don't know if that fits in. Maybe they're trying to like be a little bit more friendly than usual. I just don't know. It just looks a little bit informal, but they probably have a good reason for it. I'm gonna let it slide. Oh, I love this. Invoice. They make the invoice like really, really clean, and that is what you want, like if you are hiring Visto, you want something to be straightforward and clean and like easy to understand. An invoice is one of the things that is like really stressful because you are playing with numbers, you're a business owner, there's numbers everywhere, and this makes it easier for them to digest the information. Really well done. More icons. I think this is their business card. I love the tone on tone effect, like the overprint effect. That's really nice. Estudio de Construcción. More letterheads, and you can see that they present the final result really, really well. Aesthetically done, very nice. Yeah, this is what you want, It's so modern. You would never think of a construction company that like does this as their branding. Very nice. That's the end of it. TheWork.co. Follow us on Facebook, follow us on Twitter. Thank you for posting your project and letting us admire the beauty of this simplicity. I really like this. You will never think of a construction company with this contemporariness in their branding. They're trying something new, and I love the fact that they have the balls to do it. Very nice. The next project we're going to be looking at is Tea Garden. I think it's a Korean brand. Yep, correct. So multiple owners, Cherry John, CFC. I think that's content form context, but I am not sure. I haven't read this yet. Young Kim, Sarim Rom Kang. I'm butchering these names. Min Sun Ling, Ki Wong Hung. All of them are in Seoul, Korea. Client Lion, MKT, CFC. Context, yes, content form context. I knew it. I fucking knew it. Really good design studio. I love their work. Go to contentformcontext.com and see the other stuff. So this is the rationale. Tea Garden is a dishwashing liquid recently launched by Lion Korea. Starting from its tea-inspired concept, CSC designed the brand identity and packaging design. The emblem, which consists of 6 leaves, symbolizes the European garden. After searching a huge variety of tea packages, we extracted the visual language of tea packaging and applied it to Tea Garden. Short and simple. And you can see their process right here. I think this is the ideation process. The ideation phase where they lay out everything and take inspiration from each individual picture. Excuse me. Yeah, really nice. A lot of photographs, a lot of some illustrations. And I think this is the logo. Sketches. I love sketches. I love looking at people's process and like their thinking behind it. So you got the tea leaves, and you got the European garden, and then the symbol of Tea Garden at the end. Tea leaves. Oh, okay. So the tea leaves are in the perspective of the European garden, and that is the logo with the 2 initials of TG on top of it. Really nice topping on the ice cream. I like that. And I think this is the final logo. Very nice. It forms like a silhouette of an arrow, which is like moving forward. The company is moving forward, going to the right direction. North Star. I like it. The only problem that I have with this logo is I think if you look at it closely, you can see that the leaves are not in line with the curves that are next to the other leaves. So I don't know if I can take out my mouse. Like if you see here, these are not in line with the curve of the other leaves. I think if they fix that, it will be much better looking. Visually, it will be more visually appealing and more. But it's just a really petty sort of critique. I'm gonna move on. I think it's really, really nice, really geometric. And I think this is the full word mark. Yeah, full word mark. Cool. I feel like I've seen this font before, but I'm not gonna try and name it because I'm gonna butcher it. Earl Grey Blue, Jasmine Orange, English Earl Grey. Oh, okay, I get it. This is like tea colors. Because it's tea garden, they're gonna have tea colors as their palette. Really nice. Jasmine Orange. And they are all Pantone colors. Really sweet. You can taste that. It's like, oh, you can taste the tea just from the colors. Especially Jasmine Orange is a really, really strong, like, maybe it's just the closeness of orange to like the actual color of tea, probably. 2D mockups. I love the pattern on the third one. That's probably like a foil print. I don't know how to explain final artwork. I need to learn more about it. Pretty clean. And look at that. Beautiful photography shot. I think that's a sponge. It looks like a bird's nest. Like a brown bird's nest that used a sponge. That's really cool. Nice. I really like how they use the plate as a backdrop. Aside, as opposed to like something else. I really like how they like use a function of the soap as the backdrop. Really cool. The only problem that I have with I think this second photo is that the leaf is too harsh. The shadows of the leaves. Maybe pull the leaf upwards a little bit and have the shadow a little bit less opaque. It would be cool. Shows the product more, shows the function of the product, which is the plates, even more. Dishwashing liquid. Very nice, I like it. Tea garden. The logo stands out, and also the TG. It is simply memorable. The garden and the leaf and the TG brand mark logo version on top of the word mark. Really cool. Yeah. Third project I'm going to be looking at is Squash 73. Mariela Mesquita and Jetlag are the multiple owners. I think Jetlag is a design studio in Mexico City. City of Mexico. Yeah. Okay, so this is their rationale. Squash 73 is a multidisciplinary space located in Mexico City. Inside once was a squash club. Their main goal is to give creative young adults a space to enjoy and discover art-related activities and emerging proposals. So they are going more towards like art-related activities, and they're gonna like go along as people come and propose what they want to do with the space. It has 2 courts and a studio that can be used for pretty much any art project: drink and draw, ceramics workshop, exhibition, photo shoot, or theater rehearsal. The client wanted a playful and fresh identity that showed versatility and creativity. I also reminded them of the athletic roots of the place as they left the striking yellow lines that were used by squash players back in the 70s, and I'll give a unique look to each room. The icon was inspired by the idea of the space itself, as if it was an elevated view in an architectural plan. Nice. The graphic elements such as the illustration and the signage were inspired by squash as a sport, always thought to be moving and dynamic. Pretty nice. I think it's a really nice rationale, really solid. Yeah, so I think this is like the storefront, Squash 73. Okay, it looks a little bit dull. I'm not gonna lie, I'm gonna be really frank. It looks a little bit dull with just a logo and like a black If I'm not wrong, I've seen like a little bit of the like color palette. I think there's like a blue and some other color that's really bright. I don't know why they didn't use it as the storefront, you know, like grand entry point, showing the branding there, but they probably have a good reason for it. SQ73, maybe it's like the original look of the 1973, you know, squash place, and they don't want to ruin it. I can see people gathering there. Okay, the space is okay, it's a really social space. Alright, this is the iconography. Really monoline things. Nice. I can see a similarity of all these icons that are really memorable, which is the loop. So you can see in the cigarette on the left side, second from the top. So the cigarette also has a loop connecting to the smoke. The arrow has a loop connecting to each others. The people have loops. The numbers have loops, and the doggy on the right, has also a loop. I think is the tail and the leg. Very nice, very prominent, easily remembered. Yay, doggy! Alright, this is really cool. Electrical outlet room, even has a signage. Nice. This is the I think this is the photo shoot room, photography room, and I love how the 3D loop is implemented. Like it loops itself, it loops on its own, and it's not just like a play sheet where the loop is intersecting itself. You know, it's actually overlaying instead of like. You get what I mean? Yeah, photography studio, and I love that they keep the griminess of the 1973. Like they don't clean the walls. The walls are probably clean. It's just like the mold and the dirt is still there. You know, it's just a contrast between contemporary and old school is there, and I love how they keep the yellow lines. It just makes everything look extra new. Fire extinguisher also has a sign. I love it. I love it so much. You know, companies need to do this. Like things so insignificant such as like emergency stuff, fire extinguishers, exit signs, electricity rooms. They all need signages, and your branding can be communicated there as well. So you cannot waste the opportunity, but you also cannot be kidding around. You know, like as a creative team, in order to do this for your clients successfully, you need it to work. The signs need to be really easily read. You know, no pun intended, but and also like easily identified, because this one you can straight away tell that this is the fire extinguisher because it's red, and it also has the shape that is really easily readable as the the fire extinguisher sign. I'm gonna say again, I love how the loop just overlaps each other. It's really memorable. I like this concept, and I love the aesthetic of the yellow. Look at that. I think the mirrors are added there afterwards, and the blue is there, the yellow is there, and the dirt of the 1973 squash pit is there. Nice, really nice. And I think this is the secondary graphic. Pretty cool. And oh, okay, I get it. It's like it's like a top view of like an architectural plan, and maybe like some reminiscence of like a squash manual. You know, like how do you play squash? Because I think this is like you can see that there is like balls being thrown around, communicated through the dotted lines and the dots over there. Not bad. They lowered down the opacity of the colors of the yellow and the blue to make it look like it's like old or something. I like the decision. SQ73. Nice. I think this is the logo. Yep, the logo. Business card. Nice. Oh, spatial design. Look at that. Squash 73. I love the fact again, I'm gonna say it again. I love the fact that the dirty background is, being topped off with the new branding. It's just uh, revitalizing the old with a little bit of new. Squash 73 is the official logo, and I think it works really well. Cool. This is on an envelope. Nice. Tote bags. Cool. Pretty cool. More spatial design. I like it. I like it. Yeah. The only thing that I'm having conflict about, and this is a really petty thing, is that what I love about this branding is the loop. I love the loop. I love the yellow prominence of the type and the iconography. If only, I don't know, there's just a little bit of disconnection between the logo and the type, and it's really petty, but they probably have a good reason for it, but I'm just pointing it out. I don't know how it's gonna connect with this, and like, okay, I'm gonna go back to the iconography. Like, this is super amazing, and monoline and the loop is like, you can connect it more to like neon lights, the one where the people use it for signage, and then in order to use it as a readable signage, you need to curve it and all that. I don't know, it just reminds me more of 73 than just using this. But biasness aside, that is BBS for you for this week. Those are my top 3 picks, and I think my favorite is actually the one that I first reviewed. Yeah, Visto is my favorite, because I've never seen a construction company this aesthetically pleasing. Like, they're changing the industry using their branding, which is a really powerful thing. Humans are visual creatures. When people see that it's a change in visual, people will move towards it if it works, and this works really well. Chalky colors just reminds me of dust, reminds me of the griminess of manual labor, and it's freeing, it's expressive, it's honest, and I like it. My second favorite would be Squash 73, because I just really love the icons. Wait, let me pull up the freaking Squash 73. I just love the icons, and I love the 3D implementation of the icons, and also the space. I just love the space. Griminess and contemporariness put together into one. It works really well. The reason why I have my third tea garden is because I have no idea how this packaging is gonna stand out in a line on a shelf aside other competitors. There's no brightness in it. I guess probably in a luxury shop this would be like a luxury brand and it will stand out, or maybe it will just blend in. I have no idea. You need to put this on a shelf. There should be a shelf shot for products like this. If you're gonna do packaging, you need to have a shelf shot, and you need to like show the client or show like people in Behance that your packaging works in a shelf in terms of standing out. I've dealt with dishwashing liquids myself, and that's the thing that they stress on. You must see it in a shelf aside the competitors. But then again, I think that's a really petty criticism. The design is really good, and in terms of branding, the concept is there. It's really Korean, it's really pastely, it's really clean, it's really pure. That's what Korea is all about. That's the heritage, and I love that they extracted out the concept of tea and like tea garden through these things, tradition and rich history. I think TG, the symbol works really well in terms of branding overall. I think it works well. It's just the packaging, I don't know if it stands out. So that is Behance branding. showcase. Thank you so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed it, or maybe you didn't. And if you didn't enjoy it, just leave a dislike and tell me why you hate this show so much. I'm trying my best, dude. I'm trying my best. I'm kidding. I'm not trying my best. Thank you so much for watching. Either way, this is a new format that I'm experimenting on. Hopefully it works, because there's a lot of content on Behance that nobody's talking about. You know, these things need exposure, and branding needs to be more exposed. The normal person in a few years from now, 2025, everyone should know the importance of branding. You know, the falsification of I'm not gonna say advertising. It's just like the fakeification of branding through, like, oh, you do all these nice things, you market yourself as really nice, and yeah, your product is fixed. What the fuck am I saying? There's just a lot of honesty being extracted out from companies when the end consumer knows what branding is, and that is what I want to extract out using this show. And yeah, I hope you enjoyed this, and I hope you're a normal person watching this, learning stuff about branding. See you.